Hey everyone, welcome back to Modern Retro Gal. My name's JL in case you're new to my channel, and today's video we're gonna do my base makeup. So this is my primer, foundation, concealer, powder, setting powder if I use any. So this is my current routine that I do that I love when I'm gonna do just a full face of makeup. So full makeup when I'm really gonna sit down and take the time. I do already have my eyebrows slightly touched up for this, so I'm gonna go through everything that I use really quickly, and then I'll kind of get into technique and how I am doing my foundation currently. So I have been loving the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I put this in my 2019 favorites. I still just love this primer. I don't know what it is. It just reacts really well with my skin, and it's super good. So for foundation, I am using the Kokie HD Skin Perfect foundation. I actually use both the shade 10C and 20C. My perfect shade would be somewhere in between these. The 20C works really well with my skin, but it's a little bit lighter than my neck, and so you can kind of see, like, if I blend it down, there will be a little bit of difference in tone. The 10C is like the exact color of my neck, but it's just a little too light overall. So I'll show you the technique and how I use both of these, and it actually works really well and is really seamless. For concealer, I have been using the NYX Born to Glow concealer. This is newer for them. I am in the shade what shade is this? I feel like I hear my daughter trying to sneak in. I see you. Honestly, the shade is not on the packaging anywhere, so I'll have to look it up. What's up?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry? Let me finish this and then we'll get something to eat.
Okay.
Can I finish it uninterrupted?
I'm just gonna sit and watch.
No, you're such a pain.
I can't really see anything else but your hair.
And then where I do set, I've just been using, this is from Besame. It's from their Sleeping Beauty collection, and it's the Aurora's translucent powder, and I've kind of been using this. It looks pink in the pan, but it's actually translucent if you use a powder brush. That is our new puppy Rosie. So apparently there's just gonna be all kinds of stuff going on in the background of this video. If you guys are gonna be in here, you have to not be disruptive. Otherwise,
that Rosie comes and stabs me with her sharp knees.
Okay, you guys need to go back downstairs. And then for sort of blush contour, this is the Perplex Cheek Rebellion Contour and Blush Palette. I love this. I talked about this also. So I'll kind of show you how I go in and sort of use all of these shades and what I may be doing. So let's get started. We're going to start with primer. It looks like this. That's about how much I use, about a pump and a half. And I kind of start it in my T-zone and underneath my eyes, and then I kind of work it out, and then I smudge it into my forehead. I have to kind of push my bangs out of the way. And then I just, whatever's kind of left, I pat over the top of my eyelids, and then I just kind of press everything in. I feel like that's the best application technique I have found with this primer. So next I'm going to go in with my foundations. So I'm going to squirt some of the 10C, and then a little bit of the 20C on the back of my hand. What I'm gonna do, a highlight and contour situation. So with the 10C, I'm gonna go into places like the high points where I would normally highlight, and I'm gonna apply the lighter shade, and then I'm gonna start to pick up the 20C, the darker shade, and I'm gonna go in to places where I would kind of contour with it and put that there. And then I'm going to take a little bit of what's left, just a tiny bit of the darker shade in and to what's left of the lighter shade, and I'm just going to put that along my jawline. So next up, I'm going to take my foundation brush. I'm using the Sigma Flat Angle Kabuki, the F88, and I'm going to kind of start with anywhere where I have that lighter shade, and I'm just going to kind of start to press that in. My hairs will get out of the way. And then I'm just going to buff in the darker shade around the perimeter and kind of just start to mix those two together. And I feel like it just creates like kind of perfect, seamless look. Now, as you can see, I'm not really putting in any of this into my under eye because I'm going to save my concealer step for the under eye. I just find that it works a lot better and it's a lot less like creasy and crepey.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And then I'm just going to kind of pick up whatever's left on my hand and just kind of stamp that into my face, anywhere where I kind of feel like I might need a little bit of extra. And I just kind of feel like this technique just really works well with this foundation. I really kind of get the look that I want, the coverage that I want for day to day, and whatever's kind of left on my brush, I'm just gonna run a little bit of that over the top of my eye. Sorry, I'm not literally looking into the camera directly, but I have like a bigger mirror because I'm old and my eyes aren't what they used to be. So now I'm going to go in with my concealer. I will try and find this exact shade that I bought and put it down below. So I sort of just take a little bit on the inner and the outer. And then I'm going to take, this is a Sephora brush. I have not found anyone else that has a brush like this, but this is the Pro Concealer. This is just their Pro Concealer, and it's like this shape. So it's like straight and then it's kind of tapered back, and I love it. I really haven't been using sponges lately. I don't know, I've just kind of been going through a brush phase. So I'm just kind of stamping, slightly buffing, and stamping this across, and then I kind of get up underneath here because that's where I tend to have like the crepiest skin, and I just kind of go in and out and really just kind of try to buff that to get the best coverage that I can and the most evenness. And I like this technique. I feel like it gets the amount of product where I need it the most, which is kind of at the inner eye the inner and the outer. And then just kind of right here in the middle where I tend to have like a lot more lines, and my skin's a little bit more crepey and the product can kind of settle in. It has kind of like the least amount of product there. And then anything that's left, I just make sure I really nicely take over my lids. And sometimes I will take my foundation brush and just kind of tap that around the perimeter between my under eye and my cheekbone, just to make sure that there's like a really nice smooth transition there. So now to powder this, I take a nice big fluffy brush. This is from Beautylish. It's the unit brush, and this is unit 106. So I'm just gonna go in with my powder and kind of tap and get rid of the excess, and then I'm just gonna kind of press it in to my face like so, and go up on top of my forehead. That's what this area is called, my forehead. And then what I will do is I'll go in, I'll re-smooth out my eyelids, and what's left on the brush, I will press that in, smooth out any creasing. What's left on the brush, go in. I actually do not set my under eyes anymore. I find that because of the crepiness, and I tend to be a little bit drier under my eyes, that with the primer that I'm using and kind of like the drying like crepiness of my under eyes, my concealer doesn't really move all that much. And I find that if I do need to kind of re-smooth or work with my concealer, it's a lot easier if I haven't set it to kind of work with it. So one thing that I will do is I'll take my concealer brush. I have a towel in my lap, and I will just kind of vigorously rub any product off, and then I'll kind of just get in there basically with a cleaned off, dry, product free brush, and just kind of gently pull and kind of work anything out that has settled. And I just kind of find that this technique works best for me. So now we're going to go in with a little bit of bronzing and blush, and I kind of know what I'm going to do with my eyes. Normally if I don't know what I'm going to do with my makeup yet, I'll kind of go lightly in with these two shades, Low Key and Vibe, for my blush. This one is pinker, and this one is a little bit of more like corally peachy color. So I'll mix those two lightly together and run it over, and then once I've done my eyes, I can kind of go back and either add more of the pink, more of the coral, or if I want to deepen up, I'll use this kind of like mulberry raspberry shade right here. So right now what I'm going to do is I am going to go in. This is the Morphe M427. It's a duo fiber face brush, and I'm going to go in with Switch, which is more of the bronzy shade, and I'm just going to dip like that. And then Retrograde is more of a contour shade, so I'm just going to kind of go once with that. I'm just going to take off any excess, and I'm going to start back here and kind of just do like a, I'm going to dip one more time into that more bronzy shade, and I'm going to kind of do like a bronzing, what am I trying to say? Contour. Like a bronzy contour basically, which is what I like to do on my face. I just think it has a more like blown out natural look, so that's kind of what I like to do. And then I kind of just take it over the perimeter of my forehead, a little bit on the side of my nose, kind of generally right in this area. And it just kind of, I don't know, straightens the nose if you need it. I just feel like it kind of balances my face. And then what I like to do is just take retrograde. So just that kind of cooler tone. And then I'll just kind of go under my jawline, kind of bring that down. And then what I like to do is take a brush like this. This is that Unit brand from Beautylish. This is the 107. And I take this kind of yellowy cream polarized shade, and I'll just kind of bring it along the bottom of my face, and kind of down my jawline. And I feel like it just kind of, I don't know, it keeps everything from looking too much. If for whatever reason this is feeling kind of patchy for some reason, some days it's just like that on my face, I'll go in with a couple of taps of this and I'll just kind of go over the top, and I feel like it just kind of softens it and just kind of helps like blend it a little bit better. So if it's like too dark or it's just too much, I'll just kind of go in with that color. And then when I'm on the go, I'll just kind of press it in again to my eyelids, just to kind of like brighten them up, like so. And then, oh yeah, blush. So today, I'm just going in with that Morphe Duo Fiber, and I'm going in and just kind of cleaning it off on the towel in my lap. And I'm going to go in with this pink color Vibe, this blush, because I know what I'm going to do with my eyes. So I usually kind of go a little bit lighter handed if I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with my eyes. I'll go in a little bit lighter handed with the blush, and then once I have done my eyes, I will kind of add wherever I think I may need to. So that is it. I am going to come right back after I've done the rest of my face, so that I can kind of show you how I will tweak things a little bit if I feel like that's necessary. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. Here is the final look with all of my makeup on. So the only thing that I really went through and did is I took my concealer brush again, and I just kind of took it to clean up right here along the edges of my eyeshadow, and I patted one more time underneath my eyes with it just to try and soak up any excess concealer. And then once I had my makeup done, I just went back into my blush and contour palette, and I went a little bit in more with this shade Vibe and really kind of amped up my blush a little bit more, since this is a little bit more of a dramatic look. If you're curious about this look, I can do a tutorial on how I did it. However, with all due credit, this was done this morning by Marlena Stahl from Makeup Geek, and she has a very specific technique on how she did this look. It is done with the, oh, I don't have the name of it. I'll put the name of it down below, but well, I'll just link her video that she did where she talks about it. I can't talk. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while, I know. But I did mine slightly different than how she did her eye look. So if you're curious to see to know how I did my eye look and the difference, I will link her video below. Watch that one and let me know in the comments if you would like to see how I did mine, because I did it slightly different. Same technique, just slightly different application overall. So that is it for me. That is my full base routine when I'm going to do a full makeup look. So I'm off to get myself and the kiddo lunch. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really, really helps me out. And if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you as a subscriber. You can see lots of me stumbling over my words in the future. I don't often edit it out. I just edit out like yawns, coughs, and if I just start rambling off topic, sometimes I'll edit that out. Otherwise, they just kind of stay in because that's just part of who I am. So if you think that it would be fun to try and listen to me speak on the YouTubes, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. So just click that subscribe button wherever it is down below. Also on the bells, click it to be notified every time I upload. That way you'll always know when I upload a video. That's it for me. We will be back to regular programming here really soon. As you can see, there's no more laundry in this section of my bedroom, which means I am finally getting it together. Yeah, so that's about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.